Your Fitness Business Podcast Snapshot. The lessons behind 3 simple things. What does it take to become a Navy SEAL that most people don't know? And what is unique about SEALs leadership? All of that and more coming up in today's episode. I would like to give a big thank you for listening to the fitness industry's leading fitness business podcast for owners and managers. The Fitness Business Podcast strives to provide a weekly educational platform for our listeners. The variety of international guests are here to share their expert advice, knowledge, and tips with you, our FBP family. Drum roll, please, because it is time for another educational episode of the Fitness Business Podcast with your host, me, Dory Nugent. So I have a question. How many of the fit pros out there listening are in the process of designing an online program for secondary income? Well, if you're raising your hand, make sure you listen to episode 372 with Amy Nicotera. Can I just brag and say, she brought some amazing content to her episode. So speaking of amazing content, let's get ready for Navy SEAL Tom Shea. Today, Tom shares his insight on leadership and staying calm in the midst of chaos. But first, our podcast partner, MyZone, has a few words about their super cool products. MyZone has pioneered unique wearables with talking point technology that makes the difference. Reach more members of your community and keep them engaged for longer through motivation and gamification wherever they choose to work out. In the gym, at home, or outdoors, we're stronger together. Get in the zone at myzone.org. Today's industry expert, and I'd say he's definitely an expert. I'm not sure of the fitness industry, but he's definitely an expert. It is Navy SEAL Thom Shea. And Tom not only is the prestigious Navy SEAL, but he's also an author. And he wrote this amazing book called 3 Simple Things. Tom, welcome to our show.
Dory, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a real honor. It's a real pleasure. Most of my Fitness Business Podcast family knows that I am a huge post 9/11 book junkie. So this is such a personal pleasure to have you on here today. So I would love for you right off the bat, just tell us about 3 simple things.
Well, I'm going to go back a step. I have a degree in sports medicine, so fitness has been a lifestyle since, 86.
Okay.
86.
Okay.
And then the SEAL teams, it's all about fitness. So hopefully, the reading of 3 simple things will benefit your crew. And I wrote it for people who want more out of life. So the genesis of 3 simple things was in retirement, because I'm a retired SEAL, and I had been asked to teach leaders how to deal with leading in chaos and how to deal with the lives that they have. And one thing that I found that everybody has to understand is that you have to tackle things simply. And so how I look at that is I had to teach leaders, and even in the SEAL teams, probably the same thing in the fitness industry, is everybody forgets simple. We forget it. So what I found to be true is when you can look at the forest and find a tree in the forest, you can do really well. So the genesis of simplicity, or the 3 simple things, the book, is everybody's inundated with way too much data, especially with social media. There's 18 workout programs all the time, which gym, which fitness thing did I go to? And so we get stuck. We get stuck in the complexity of what we have, and we can't find simple. So I wrote it for people who want more out of life by attacking simple. And the 3 simple things is in every aspect of your life. And I think there's 5. The first one is health, which I think is fitness. And leaders what I found to be true is when I give them health, they are really more productive as a leader. So the first one is health. The second one is consummate learning, which you were talking about being a ravenous reader. The third one is you have to be involved in wealth production. Whether it doesn't matter what you are. I think moms produce wealth. So it's not go out and make money, but it's the pursuit of wealth or the pursuit of value. The fourth one is relationships. Even though I'm making it complicated, it's not. And the fifth one is spiritual. So those 5 areas I make simple. And the 3 simple things are, I'm going to take fitness, for example, and it has made the biggest difference in the 400 clients that I've trained are these 3 simple things in fitness. And they're simple. An hour of workout a day for the rest of your life. You can't skip days. You have to move for an hour a day. It's simple. The second one is you have to stretch for 20 minutes a day, or mobility. That's not simple. It seems simple, but it's not. And the third one is drink 10 glasses of water a day. If you do that, you'll be one of the most accomplished, fit human beings that you'll meet. But you have to do it non-negotiable every day. In the other 4 areas, are simple things like that, a little harder to articulate. But those 3 simple things are profoundly moving to individuals that I've trained. And that's what the book does, is it takes you through the journey of learning simple things and applying them in your life.
So if they're so simple, and they are, I mean, working out, stretching, and drinking, why yet is it so darn hard?
Because we never get taught you should be taught this as a kid. In the SEAL teams, they teach you this. And here's the thing that makes it simple. Make a promise and keep it. Nobody teaches that anymore. We're very feeling oriented. We're very hack oriented. We try to get things faster than they're due. And we think that we have Saturdays and Sundays off because we go to school Monday through Friday as we grow. But in life, there's no days off. Just do it. So we've convinced ourselves that simple is not worth it. So we make it complex, or we hack it, which are the twins of disaster, or hacking things in complexity.
So Tom, I'd love to just kind of integrate your Navy SEAL training into our podcast today. And I'd like to just ask you the question of, what does it take to become a SEAL that most people in the fitness business don't understand?
The simple part of getting into the SEAL program is you have to be able to run for 1.5 miles in a certain time. I think it's 10 minutes. You have to swim 500 yards in 10 minutes. You have to do 100 push-ups in 2 minutes, 100 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and I think 14 or 12 pull-ups. That's not really that hard if you put a lot of time and effort into it. That's just to get in. So everybody can download that. Everybody knows what it takes to get in. What athletes don't realize is what it takes to live the lifestyle of a SEAL is literally every day you have to own your body. You have to work out at a level other than what I just said, not just move for an hour. You're actually moving, doing workouts, being tactical and learning tactical workouts 6 to 7 hours a day, the entire time that you're in the SEAL teams. And most people can't tolerate that level of physical, mental activity because they go hand in hand. Physical and mental activity are twins. And that's the hard part, is the lifestyle of constant. That's your job, is to move your body at levels that most people can't even tolerate every single day. And when you can't, you're out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, there is absolutely no doubt that, the SEALs take their fitness levels very seriously. So
I think anybody can do it. Anybody can really do it. It's just nobody really wants to commit to that on a daily basis.
I agree with that. I think that's a good statement. We've mentioned about the fitness level, the unique fitness level of a SEAL. There's also a uniqueness in your leadership style. I'd love for you just to tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So don't ever watch a TV program and think that you're learning military or effective leadership. So throw all that out first, and now we can start to talk. So SEAL leadership is broken down into something that everybody can understand. So it's very skill oriented. So before you can become a leader, you have to be very skill centered, and then you have to prove that you can apply that skill to the team. Then you've done that for a while, and then you graduate to being in charge of three other people responsible to the outcome of their actions, which is the team which the fundamentals of real leadership is you're accountable and responsible to somebody else's outcome. So if he doesn't do well, it's my responsibility, not his. I've got to figure out how to improve his actions, being skill oriented. So you graduate higher levels of people who you're responsible to. So by the time you're actually called a leader, you've been there 10 to 12 years, and then you're in a position where you are the sole person in a leadership position. The funny thing is, once you're there, you no longer lead, you ask. I never once was ever told what to do by my leader. He asked me. When I was in a leadership position, I did the same thing. I would task somebody, not tell them what to do. Hey, figure this out because your life is in danger because you're the one that's going to have to go do it. Give me a solution how we are all going to follow you or get behind you or solve it with you. But I would never dictate to anybody else what to do. So real leadership in my mind is being technically sound and then big enough to ask them to solve problems and not tell them how to solve it. And that gets lost, and it's hard to do that in TV. It's hard to put that into a book. But the great leaders that I know and I still know are never dictatorial. They're very calm, and they ask a lot of questions, and they don't make quick decisions. And if you can't do it, they're not going to ask you to do it, because in real life, like any job, it's your life. And bad leaders tell people what to do, and great leaders listen more.
That I agree with you 100%. I've heard that before, and I do think that is true. So love that you just stated that again. Now, Tom, besides being an author, you also run a training course for leaders, or even non-leaders, just people that want to sign up and come to your trainings. And I know during your training courses, you teach about chaos and leading through chaos. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I have a business partner, and we do 2 training programs. You have to do the one to graduate to the other. So level 1 training is about how to functionally get better at your life, literally how to get you better as a human being. And so what we found is we have to be able to define something that everybody has in front of them. And it's called chaos, where things you can't figure them out. Every business leader that comes to our training, every mother that comes to the training are inundated with too much data. So how we define chaos is seeing a million things, but that's chaotic. What we do is break it down to being able to functionally deal with 3 of those million things, which is then the genesis of 3 simple things. So chaos is a million things. Perfection, if you will, or greatness is to be able to deal with 3 of those million things and deal with them. And then you can move on to another 3. And it takes 3 days for people to realize how to do that.
You teach about chaos in your training session. How do you teach people to keep calm so that they're able to get through a situation and possibly be a really good leader?
Yes, so calm is a derivative of what we functionally do in the training. We don't call it calmness. We call it a phased approach at learning a couple skills. Everybody who's calm has to learn something called focus. And literally, we teach how to focus. That's a 4-hour block of training on the second day of our event. Focused, it's not taught anywhere. So your body has great things in it. You have to learn how to turn them on and turn them off, which is what focus is. And since nobody's learned or taught how to do that, it's hard to be calm. And it's very difficult to deal with a million objects flying at you. The second thing that we teach, which is the kind of the penultimate part of the training, is learning what emotions are and how to use them. So if you learn how to focus and you can control your emotion, you become very calm, because what you're doing is not dealing with a million things. You're dealing with 3, and you're not emoting, and you're focused on those 3 things, and you're not focused on a million. It's just a weird skill set that if you learn them linearly like that, you can be calm in any situation. But if you don't learn them, it's very difficult to exercise the adjective, if you will, called calmness.
What part of the high physical fitness level of the SEAL teams is to help create a clear mind? Because we all know that fitness obviously releases the endorphins to help clear the mind and the mental stress. Do you feel that there is that underlying reason that they push physical fitness, or is it literally just to be physically fit and get through the operations that you guys are sent on?
No, they give you physical fitness so that your mind gets sharper.
Mm-hmm.
They break you down. They do very difficult, impossible physical tasks so that your mind has to grow quicker than your body, because the body is not really capable of doing that much. Like, it can't really do that much. But when the mind is being tasked and growing, and the muscle, if you call that the mind muscle, is growing relatively quicker than your body, it looks like you're more capable. So they make you do endurance stuff, like stupid 4-day walks, that your mind is crushing you the whole time. And the instructors are there telling you not to get down on yourself. And then when you learn those traits, your body then recovers quickly. And to me, it's too bad that people don't do very difficult endurance events and have a guide go with them so that they can learn to defeat their mind, because their mind is the key.
Get your pen ready now for Keep Me's Fit Bizpiration.
What are your top 3 tips to being a leader when chaos is all around you?
Lead by example, be present. That's the first one. The second one is listen. The third one is, if they can't do it, help them.
Keep Me, smarter member retention. KeepMe.ai.
Now back to our show. Tom, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I'm so glad that you brought enlightenment of your book, 3 Simple Things, to our Fitness Business Podcast family. I think it could really benefit all of us that are in the fitness industry.
Dory, thank you for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah. This is just like a great different topic for us because, yes, it is a little military, but I think most of us know that the level of fitness to be in not even just in the military, but to be in special operations is so much greater. So in a way, we got a little bit in common. We probably could learn more about leadership and the chain of command. But yeah, it was really great.
Well, thanks for having me on. And I run 200-mile races a year, and maybe we should have talked about that level of fitness.
Well, absolutely. We could have you back and we can just talk about that. I'm all for that. I vote for that.
Sure. Well, hey, thank you, Dory. Really.
You're so welcome. So listen, and you're your first timer here with us. So I always like to say, welcome to the Fitness Business Podcast family, Tom. Oh my goodness, what an honor to speak with Navy SEAL Thom Shea. That certainly was a pleasure. I hope all of you enjoyed his insight on how to become a better leader as well. FBP family, I just want to take a quick second to thank you for your continued support. Because of all of you, we remain the top industry podcast for fitness education. So cool. Now let's pause for a brief minute to hear from our podcast sponsor, Tribe Team Training.
Are you interested in increasing your center's income and your trainer's income from small group training? Tribe Team Training is the new way to get more members engaged in small group training and paying extra. Click the Tribe Team Training link in the show notes or go to tribeteamtraining.com.au/podcast for your free formula to see how much income you can make from small group training.
Fitness Podcast family, you are in for a real treat next week as two of the FBP fanatics are going to be our special guest and deliver a powerful show about group fitness. Yes, Lauren George and Stacey Alden are delivering the lowdown on all things group fitness. Mark your calendars, you don't want to have FOMO. If you would like to learn more about 3 simple things, or if you'd like to connect with Navy SEAL Tom Shea, look no further and head on over to our show notes at fitnessbusinesspodcast.com. Next up is a message from our founding partner, Active Management.
Hi FBP family, it's JT from Active Management, the founding partner of the Fitness Business Podcast. Thanks to the amazing technology at our fingertips, we can now work with clients all over the world. But right now, you can join the free online Active Management Facebook community. It's an amazing group of people just like you. Sure, I share weekly resources, but it's the power of the community that you will experience that will make this your go-to Facebook group. Remember, it's free, fun, and inspirational. Go to facebook.com/groups/Active Management Community.
What you leave behind is not what's engraved in stone monuments, but what is woven into the lives of others.